We're so excited that you decided to join us here on Desertwood Days. I am your host, Kathy Blaze. Today we have some fabulous guests here for you. But remember, this is our fourth episode of Halloween. Today I have the lovely Sally Ann Francis here with me.
Hi, Kathy. I am so happy to be here, and I feel so honored that you guys allowed me to be here. So thank you so much.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. When I contacted you, Sally, I was thinking about Sally the actress.
Yes.
But you know what? I've learned that you are so much more than just an actress. And I don't like to use the word just. I'm not going, let me rephrase that. You are more than an actor.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
I'd like to also thank you for your service because I know that you are a veteran.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Could you tell us what branch you're with?
I was in the 82nd Airborne, Army 82nd Airborne Division.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, special ops. So
Thanks.
that was interesting.
No, and I can see
and
that.
challenging. Very challenging.
I've seen some of your roles, so I can see that.
Yeah.
Sally, when did you decide? At what point did you decide that you wanted to become an actor?
Oh gosh, when I was probably 6 years old. Yes, I was asked to be in my sister's play at her junior high school to do a song and dance act. And I didn't have a lot of training. I had some tap dance, so I did that.
Oh.
And then following that was my first stage play where I was actually the back end of a, can I say it, jackass? Donkey mule.
Yes.
And I danced across the stage.
That's actually your animal.
Oh my God. And when we were trying to sing and dance across the stage, we both fell off the stage and our legs, our donkey legs were straight up. So that was my introduction into comedic roles.
Oh my goodness. Oh, but it's so cute.
I know, it was hysterical.
They are so cute. And I love going to those kindergarten performances.
Yeah.
They are so cute.
So it started at a very early age.
So you've been acting for quite a while now.
Yes.
How long have you been acting in Arizona?
20 years.
20 years.
20 years, on and off. You know, I've had breaks, and I'm also a teacher too. So, you know, we need to make money too.
Yes,
you know how that
of
goes.
course.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. And I'm sure you've seen lots of change here in the industry.
Yes, absolutely.
Sally, I've seen some of your roles. You've played detectives, and I can see that special ops being a detective. You've played the mother, you played the wife, you played so many different roles.
Yes.
I mean, hey, that's been 20 years.
20 years, I know.
Can you tell me one of your favorite roles?
Can I say two?
Sure.
Okay, because it's really hard because I am so grateful that I've been given a chance to do any film here.
Right, of
So I
course.
love all my roles, so it's really hard to choose.
Yeah.
But if I had to say two, it would have been one is a play, one is a film. One was Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady, and I have no voice training at all, so I was surprised when I got the role. So that was really special to me because I always loved that movie and the story, you know. And then also I actually played a teenage boy.
Really?
And yes, and Jeremy doesn't live here anymore. I was a
Oh.
troubled teen with drug and alcohol addicted parents.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So that was a challenge. I had much shorter hair. I didn't have a body back then,
Mhm.
so it was easier
So
to
it was-
play that role, obviously. But yeah, that was very challenging.
You know what? I remember doing a film with you some years ago.
You did.
We had a lot of fun.
We did.
Yes. I you know what? I can't tell you the name of the film, but I remember
Yes.
that film. We just had a great time.
We did. We did. And we were near the train tracks. We
Yes.
were on the other side of the train
Yes.
tracks.
I think we even
Yes.
had a fiasco that day too.
Yeah, there was so much going on.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't for a
Someone got locked
festival?
in the building, remember?
Yes. Oh my gosh. And for some reason I thought it was you because you
No,
played
it
the
wasn't
security
me.
guard, didn't you?
Yes, I played the security guard.
I couldn't remember. So, yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yes, I believe when we were all done and we all went out, it was time to go.
Right.
one person was still inside the building,
That's right.
and the alarm and everything was set, and the person, whoever set the alarm, was gone. So we had to wait until that person came to let him out.
I've had quite a few interesting things on set, laying out in the desert in 115
Oh
degrees with
my,
carob syrup on
oh my
me.
goodness.
And also, and doing a film where we had our actors, the police actually, coming in. They were actors, they were police, playing
Right.
excuse me, officers. And then the real police didn't know we had a permit. And so they actually came in with their guns drawn.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, there's a lot of
And
excitement
you
in
know what I
filmmaking.
love? I love hearing this because a lot of people, oh, I want to be an actor because it's so much fun. Until they have to really get dirty and do that hard work, lay out in 115 degrees heat.
Yeah, we're not Nicole Kidman, so we got a little bit rougher there. Yeah.
Yes.
But when the physicality and the mentality of it fuse, it's kind of worth it sometimes.
It is
and
always worth
it
it.
gives you memories.
Yes.
Hopefully fun memories.
Yes.
Yes.
It is always worth it.
Absolutely.
You are also a published author,
Yes.
Great Poets of North Carolina.
Mhm.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, I've always written poetry since I was a child, and I was first published in Reader's Digest for a short story I wrote. And then after that, I started writing more poetry and entering contests. And when I was in North Carolina, I was a part of a poetry group, and they were writing a book at that time, and they wanted me to include one of my poems in it. And then, of course, that led to many other things. And I used to be a writer for a newspaper as well. So, and now I'm writing my autobiography. That's the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
So, Great Poets of North Carolina. Is that where you're from, North Carolina?
No, when I was stationed there at Fort Bragg when I was in the military, and then I got out, I was actually working for the newspaper.
Okay.
So I stayed there probably another 2 years before I moved here to Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How did that feel winning that?
I'm sorry.
How did that feel being published?
Oh, it felt great. I mean, I was already writing for the newspaper at that time, so a different type of publishing, obviously, but I'd
Yes.
already been published. But to actually have one of my poems published was special because
Yes.
it's such a different thing writing technically and crime stories and things like that versus your
Right.
own
Things
heart
that are
and
coming
soul.
from your heart.
Absolutely.
Yes, totally,
Absolutely.
totally different.
It is.
So, Miss Sally, you were writing for a company on the East Coast.
Yes.
You tell us a little bit about this.
I finished my degree finally after years of going to college in journalism, and I wrote for one of the largest and oldest newspapers in North Carolina called the Fayetteville Observer. So I was a feature writer, and then I also did page layout, and I also designed ads for them too.
Okay.
So yeah.
So working with this company, this is what gave you the opportunity to submit to Great Poets. Is that
No, this was separate. That
Separate.
was an actual career I was doing, and then I
Okay.
was in a poets society there also, and we would do readings at Barnes and Nobles and
Oh.
various places. And then they heard my poetry and they wanted me to submit a poem or two for their book that they were compiling. They have 3 volumes.
See, that's something I didn't know about you. I love that. But I knew you made beautiful jewelry also. Is that one of your
Yes.
pieces around your neck?
Yes.
Yes, I remember I had a red one. I have a red one
Oh,
just
did I
like
made you a red
yes,
one?
you did.
Oh.
Yes, yes, I knew about the jewelry, but I learned something new about you.
Yeah.
See, that is the purpose of this platform for us to learn so much about each other.
And I have loved all of the interviews. I mean, it's great to know our film community.
Yes.
We're friends also. So
Speaking of film community, so you were a writer, you're done editing and all that good stuff with the company that you work. Have you written your own scripts? Have you?
Yes.
You have.
Yes. I've actually written 5 scripts, one that actually was produced, and that was my own, the quirky film, The Sunshine Girls.
Okay.
And then I've written a few others. I've written one as a feature film about a disabled girl.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't had enough time to get that off, and running yet, but there's been a few I've written.
I'd
Yes.
love to see that one.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a special story, and I really hope I can, find someone to help me with it, with as far as getting it made, distribution. That's one of the hard parts.
Right.
You know.
So where did that come from? Is that personal or is that just something that's just dear to your heart?
Well, I've always on the side worked with, people say children with learning disabilities. I
Mhm.
like to call them with special disabilities
Yes,
and special abilities.
right.
And
Because
so,
because they have different learning disabilities. There's
yes,
just not one learning disability, so you can't label
absolutely.
everyone with that.
Right. And I worked for a short time in a public school system
Mm.
working and mainstreaming those children into like art projects and with the
Yes.
other students in the schools. And then I've worked, at preschools and stuff. So it was just something dear to my heart. And it's actually about dwarfism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yes,
and I
I'd
thought there
love
was
to
a niche for that,
Yes, I love to see that get going
Me
and
too.
get published, get out there and get filmed, and
Thank
love
you.
to
Me
see that
too.
because we need to see more of that.
I agree.
And we're talking about we want to see normalize things and see people of all abilities on
Yes.
screen. Then that's what we need to do.
And years ago, when I started my production company, excuse me, I started to say publishing production company, and I really have been bad with keeping up with that, and I haven't produced in a while.
Mhm.
That was my intention, was to make sure there was at least one or two person with a disability in my films.
Okay.
Of course, with that production company, I've only made one film so far with that, but I intend to do more in the future.
And you know what? I'm looking at casting. I've seen some castings asking for people that are actually, say, blind
Mhm.
or have a disability
Correct.
of some sort to submit for the castings. So there's a need for everyone out there.
Thank you. And I mean, those of us who are actors, we can play those roles and it's
Mhm.
challenging and it's wonderful. But I want to give people who are actually in that position the opportunity to
Right.
showcase their talent and to make it more real and personal.
Right. Some years ago, I worked with a gentleman that had cerebral palsy. You know, a lot of times people think a person with cerebral palsy is that they pretty much don't have any abilities, which is so far from the truth. This guy was the smartest thing. I mean, he just kept things in order in his department. So the thing is, don't judge people by their abilities because you don't know what their abilities are.
Thank you. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree with you more.
So I want to see some of your poetry. I heard you brought something for us today.
I did. As a thank you for all your hard work. I did a photo shoot was it last summer? I spent about 3 months going around and I wanted to showcase all our beautiful Black as well as African American who are from Africa. The
I'm
talent in
sorry
the
to
area.
interrupt you, but can you start from the beginning and tell us exactly what that project was so that
Sure.
our audience know how beautiful that project was that you did?
Oh, well, thank you. I've always been a humanitarian and an activist ever since I can remember. I've done marches, I've done all types of things. And with everything that's happened in the past couple years with the media and people getting frustrated, I wanted to actually go out and show the positivity within our Black brothers and sisters.
Mhm.
And I've done this for Native Americans and other,
Right.
nationalities and everything too, and races. But I just felt it was time. But I wanted to showcase it in a positive way,
Right.
the positive things that we're doing in the community for each other. And it was everything from a cashier at a restaurant all the way up to a PhD, an attorney, our female, sheriff. I mean, actors,
Yes.
actresses.
And how many people did you showcase in this project?
I think it was about 150.
Wow.
Yeah, it took me about 3 months of trailblazing through town
Yes.
and trying to wait on phone calls.
And you did this by yourself.
Yes.
Going out, meeting these people, talking to these people,
Yes,
getting the pictures and having them submit information to you. That took a lot of work.
it did.
And we thank you for that.
You're welcome. Well,
we
I'll tell
truly
you what.
do.
It was a blessing because, I've been somewhat aware of certain things and struggles, but it's not the same, and when I can actually talk to people who have had, good and bad moments in their lives and what they've gone through, I mean, it just really opens your heart up and it's a learning process. And I think we all need to be aware of that.
Sally, where can our audience find you?
You can find me on IMBD. I do have a production company. The website is down right now, but it's just under sallyannfrancis.com.
Okay.
And I'm off of LinkedIn right now, so you can't find me there or on Twitter.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say that's about it for right now.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us here today at Desertwood Days. We have some exciting guests here, Sally Ann Francis, Diana Brest, and Mr. Joseph Umba. We thank you all for joining us today, and we will catch you next time on Desertwood Days.